guys, welcome to today's video. So what we're going to be doing is a blonde to lived-in brunette transformation. This is my assistant Kaylee. You saw her do my hair, and we're now doing her hair. So we're going to be taking her darker today. So if you want to see the process of how we color match for extensions, do her color, and get the final result, stay tuned. Okay guys, so we are in the hair room right now. So the first thing we're gonna be doing for this process is helping the client decide what extension colors she's wanting. We have all of our hair out here. We have it all on display so she can look at the colors. She has shown us a photo of what she's wanting, and now we're gonna kind of translate that into real life and what's realistically gonna work for her hair. I always like to tell my clients that you can show me a picture as good inspo, but we're gonna get your hair's version of that. You never know the history of the photo. You know, the client could have something else going on and your client's gonna be a different story. We know that she wants a lived-in brunette, which is going to be beautiful, and now we're going to decide what colors to use.
Already did.
Oh, perfect.
I think I want to do.
You already decided for me? What'd you grab?
Kayla's like, really?
Stu
And Kendra?
Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to grab those and we're going to see how those look. Stu is going to be beautiful because it is similar to what she has with a little more depth. So of course the Stu's the best shade, and we have the Pops Up Brighter Blonde, and she does want blonde around her face, but then the Kendra is gonna add a little more depth so that we're gonna also have more brunette and then more of a beigey blonde in there as well. So I think the two of these are gonna be beautiful. We're gonna be doing a mix of wefts and tapes on her. So what we're gonna do is a half machine of each. So we have the Stu and Kendra half machine, and then we're gonna do one Stu tape and one Kendra tape. And that way we have all of the same tones, and we're gonna show you guys how we stack and layer them to create the perfect result. So let's get started. We are going to be mixing up a low light, a highlight, and a paint between, and we're going to be strategically placing these wherever we need to visualize those different tones. So it's not going to be a traditional highlight or a traditional low light. We're going to be like placing the blondes where we want the pops, where we want brightness, and then adding in depth at the same time. And then the paint between is going to give us that prolonged root that we're looking for because she wants it pretty grown out so that it's low maintenance. So we are going to be using Blonde Me, and this is going to be for the highlights and the money piece. And we don't need that much because we're not doing a ton. This is just to add pops, but she's already blonde, so we don't need to do a whole ton there. So we're going to be doing 20 volume, and we're doing the Blonde Me, and then we're going to be doing a low light with shades or Goldwell. I think low light, shades, and then paint between Goldwell. Yes. Okay, so we've got that 20 volume mixed up. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then for a low light, let's see. Stu, what do you think we should use for a low light?
Oh, you're good.
I wanna see what he says and see if we're on the same page.
Okay.
What do you wanna use for a low light? I pulled two things, I wanna see if we're on the same page.
6G, 7G.
Oh my gosh, okay. I literally had 6NB, 7NW, 7G pulled, and then I put the 7G back, so I was like, I don't know if you'd want that. So that's funny. So I was thinking 6NB with a 7.
I feel like it's gonna go darker.
So probably 7G, and then we'll do the root. So we're gonna do the low light with a 6 and a 7, and then we always do the root with 6, 5. So it would be like a little darker on the root, so 5, 6, and then it transitions into 6, 7.
With,
You want a little N?
I was gonna say,
let's do a splash of 5 in, just to give it make it
A
go
little
darker.
okay.
Do I even have 5? Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, Stu's gonna mix up the low light. Keely, will you go get Goldwell and the developer? And actually, you could even just take a bowl out there and mix it up.
Yeah.
Let's do 6A, 5N.
6A, 5N.
What did we do that one time that I loved? It was like
It was like 6N, or 6A, 5N, 4N, 2N.
Yeah.
It was like a little bit of everything.
Crazy. We're not doing that. Do 5
She's
and
like,
6A.
Let's just do a 1B.
Yeah. Let's do 1B. Let's go crazy.
6NB. Do y'all measure with ounces or grams?
We always measure with color and toners. I usually eyeball lightener, but he's been measuring.
I like measuring these days. I
Yeah.
don't know. Alright, and then it went, okay.
Yeah.
25 grams of 6NB,
Yeah.
2 grams of 7G.
Yes. The consistency.
And we'll bring that up to 30. And then we'll just do like to 35 with the 5N.
Love it.
And we're gonna use 10 volume.
That makes it stick a little better.
1-to-1.
Okay, so we're gonna have a paint between, a low light, and a highlight. And then we have all of our foils and brushes out there. Love it.
I love this color.
Okay, so we just did all of the face frame foils. So we went off of an angle. She has a middle part, and we kind of worked our way up right here and then straight back right here. And now Stu and I are gonna be working in the interior of the hair, adding in the low lights and a few highlights, and then doing a paint between to smudge her down. What we're doing is 3 low lights to 1 highlight, and we're doing a thicker, like, leading pattern because we want a little more dimension. We're not doing baby lights because then it would kind of just all blend together. All right, you guys, so we have her all foiled. We have highlights and a low light. The low light was 3, and then we do 1 highlight, so it's 3 to 1. Now what we're gonna do is a paint between, so I'm gonna take the Untangled Leave-In by Kevin Murphy, and we're gonna spray this all over her hair and the extensions, and this is gonna create a barrier so that when we're doing that paint between, it doesn't drip down and get any of this hair dark. So this is always what we do. I either use a leave-in spray or Olaplex, something like that.
Black glue. It looks like brown.
Okay, so now we're doing that paint between, and I'm gonna be kind of angling it so it's higher up around the front of the face, and then we're just kind of painting it down, and she kind of wants it drastic, so I'm bringing it down further, especially towards the back, so we have that nice root transition. And this is just gonna deepen up her base, give her a little more depth there, help everything blend, and give her more of a rooted appearance. This is like
already
so we are now going to mix up her root toner. We're going to be doing this at the bowl, and we're doing a smudge. And what we did was Redken Shades EQ, 5N, 5NA with a little bit of 6NB. And this is just to kind of blend everything out since we had some highlights in there and make sure the root is placed exactly where we want it to be. She's been processing about 20 minutes, and she's lifting really good, depositing really well, and everything's looking great. And now we're going to mix up the toner that we're going to do on the ends to refresh everything. Okay, so now I'm mixing up the toner, and in the past, whenever I would like first start out doing transformations like this, taking a blonde darker, I feel like I would always be like, oh, I need like a beigeier blonde and it needs to be darker, so I would end up toning with like an 8 or a 7 because I'm like, oh, it needs to be a darker blonde, but then it all blends together too much. You want that contrast, so I'm actually doing 9, so I'm doing a 9GI, 9NB, so that way her blondes stand out and they're really bright, but we're just making them a little more buttery and beigey, and they're still gonna be really, really bright and have that contrast with the dark. So that's what we're doing with the toner, and we are gonna now head to the bowl. All right, you guys, Kaylee is now a brunette. It's a lived-in Bronde brunette. It has a lot of different tones in it. It has some ashy pieces, it has some warm pieces. There's a lot going on and it's perfect. So let us know what you think. Let me know if you learned anything from the process of this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to DM me on Instagram, or you can comment below and I would love to answer your question. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.